Fuck! God damn it! Fuck! There. I just had to get that out of my system. I'm sure that's something we can all understand. Please, if you would like, before I get started, I recommend it. Just give a big yell. Pick your favorite cuss. I love the word cuss. Just give it a holler. Show the void who's boss. All right? Welcome. Hello. Here we all are. Are you ready for some COVID-themed artwork? I hope you are, because this right here, this is just the proverbial tip of the iceberg. You are about to get all of your senses obliterated from artists who are starving to get their thoughts and feelings in front of you. I will try to keep things light because boy, oh boy, there are plenty of heavy things happening. The wild thing is COVID would be enough for 1 year. Let's be honest, it would be enough for like 5. But we also have that absolute soul-sucking that is the political world, not to mention the incredibly important and seemingly never-ending battle for racial justice. These are all massive, life-changing events. The year 2020 has gone beyond the kitchen sink, and they are just tearing bits of the house off and just chucking those. I don't know what's left. I'm expecting the pipes and the concrete next. I'm sure just by the end, it'll just be dirt clods. Why am I bringing all this up? Well, because I feel like I have to. Context is an important thing, or at least that's what my brain is telling me, and I feel like it is important to inform you, an audience that frankly I've been missing greatly, why it is important to listen to me for the next few minutes. Well, maybe it's not terribly important in the grand scheme of things, which is okay. Not all art has to be terribly important, but I think it is of great importance to use any platform to acknowledge when you can. So all of that being said, before I get into my important commentary on COVID and art, I beg and plead with you to please vote regardless of the year, especially in the not exciting voting years. Also, please know that Black Lives Matter, and saying those words only goes so far. Please donate and support the many organizations who are actively engaged in seeking real change in our very broken system. Okay, I have acknowledged these things that are important. I have given some context, and I feel better. I don't actually feel better because the world is still currently what it is, but boy, do I hope I look back on this and say, there is some hope coming, Jake, you poor, sad man. Let's continue. Let's do a seamless transition into theater and COVID. Do you already sort of have a sense of what's happening when us theater folk can't do theater, a sort of full-on mental manic breakdown? I promise if we see fine on the outside, we aren't. Those who say they are just really fantastic actors, and that goes for all the theater technicians as well, mind you. Turns out many of them are also fantastic actors. So how can I put this in universal terms for non-theater folk to actually... No, fuck it. I'm just going to put it in theater terms, and you're just going to have to take the ride with me. We are all so tired of Zoom readings and trying to be optimistic that if given a safe opportunity, we would absolutely sit through a student-directed production of Romeo and Juliet that was set in Trump's America to make it feel more modern and biting. Capulets are the Democrats, Montagues the Republicans. Really painful, obvious stuff. Do you understand? I would applaud this. I would lose my mind being able to witness something like this. Like stand up in my seat with tears in my eyes to be able to safely enjoy that. And theater isn't even my job. I work for a bank. Theater is my dedicated hobby that I sometimes get paid for. So just put yourself for one moment in the character shoes or the technician's Doc Martens of someone whose job is in theater and they literally cannot do it. Their art and their actual money that lets them eat food is just gone. And like maybe 12 people in power care. So no job, no money for food, and no support. So just like fuck off, I guess. Figure it out. Theater was never a real career anyways, or at least that is what so many of us were told. All it took was one mismanaged national pandemic to make my high school guidance counselor feel superior. So, for those fellow theater folks out there, just keep surviving, I guess. I don't know how you're doing it. You are far stronger than I am, and you are far stronger than most. Those of you who are not in the theater world but do enjoy it, check in with your local playhouses, your favorite actors, actresses. Please, God, check in on the people who light, costume, set, and sound design, the dramaturgs, the stage managers. Please, God, check in on the stage managers. There are never enough, and I need them to know we are thinking of them. Make them a pie. take them in. If you're sitting on a pile of money, just give it to the theater because Jesus Christ, they need it. Right. Sorry, I'm supposed to focus on myself here. So what happened to me during this? Well, I feel completely guilty to tell you all this. I bought a house. Yes, the same person who's up here lecturing you all to think more about theater and others. I put my energy into breaking a millennial curse and purchasing an actual honest-to-goodness home. I think it is very important to emphasize the fact that I feel guilty for buying a home, which I want to break it down. We have a system that currently makes it near impossible for young people to comfortably buy a home, and everything is so bad that if you end up doing it, you feel guilty about it. That is so very fucked. But yet here I am, stewing in my guilt for doing something that was once considered a very normal part of life. I hate everything. So, why am I confessing my guilty sin to you? Well, I came to a pretty big realization during all this. Would I have bought a house if I was actively doing theater? No, I don't think I would have. I would be putting my energy into my passion where I like it to be. But when you take your passion away, well, what do? Especially when going to a bar is off the table, another very important theater activity. Turns out you force yourself to be productive in other wild ways. Is this how normal people are? Like, do you have free time to do things like make dinner for yourself and have a family? You know when you ask one of those normal people at your place of work, hey, what'd you do this weekend? And they just respond with, oh, made some dinner on Saturday and watched the football game. And you think to yourself, that's it? Then your mind starts to wonder about if during the rest of their time they're just like sitting there silently, just like looking at the wall. But then they ask you, what did you do this weekend? And you start with, well, I had a show on Friday night, and we went out to Local 188 after and ended up closing down the bar because I got into this conversation about how you really should be doing more absurdist work in the city. And then Saturday I woke up at 11 and had to get to a quick rehearsal for a different show. Then me and some friends got together for a quick reading. Then Saturday night was another performance, which after we had the cast party, which was a great time. We actually stayed up singing Queen karaoke till 2. Then slept until I had to get up and rush over to the theater for our closing matinee. Then strike. Then we had another rehearsal for that show I mentioned and got home to sit down and enjoy exactly one episode of a TV show that you've never seen, but you gotta watch it even though you just never will, and I fell asleep. I forgot to do my laundry that I needed to do, but I am ready for a 5-day work week with rehearsals every night. It's that look that they give you in that moment where they think to themselves, this person might be dangerous. But I am saying all of this because any theater person knows the schedule all too well. It's normal. We thrive on it. We need to feel like Rome is burning all around us at all times. And why? I have no fucking clue, but we all do it. And those that don't, for the love of God, tell me your secret. So what happens when you don't have that anymore? The thing I learned during this is that the omniscient ghoul that is theater will hang around your neck and push you into doing something. Anything. Mine made me decide to buy a house. The only thing that has ever made me more stressed than theater, like hair falling out, gentle sobs in the car, yelling into the abyss, standing outside, just like standing outside stressed. Do you know why the ever-present theater force in my body made me do this? Well, because God damn it, I am now just doing all the theater work in my house. I am lighting designing it, building a set by redoing my fucking bedroom. I'm going through my costume stock and reorganizing and getting rid of things the theater, me, doesn't need. I literally took a hot dog costume out of my closet and said, no, I'll need this. Then I caught myself sound designing as I figured out the best place to set my wireless speaker, standing around the house checking the levels and mumbling to myself, yeah, no, that sounds good. I'm sitting there stage managing all of my bills and paperwork being the main point of contact for all the goings-ons in my home. I am directing my social distance gatherings so they are a safe distance apart, but pleasant enough so my new yard feels comfortable and the audience will enjoy their time here and want to come back. I am doing the dramaturgical research on my home, making sure it's not haunted. Did I find that someone was killed by a falling tree next door? I absolutely did. Did I also go, well, that's next door, so my house surely isn't haunted? You bet I did. I'm currently in the set dressing period, making sure all of my knickknacks and tchotchkes look good. I'm placing the art in my house in a way that tells a story. Oh, well, this room should be my original art. Oh, and this room should be for pop culture art. It tells a better story this way. Why am I concerned with this? What story is it going to tell? This goddamn theater ghost inside me played me like a fiddle. So, what is it I learned? You can't fucking escape theater. It will hunt you down. Theater is General Zaroff, and your time is Danger Rainsford. But in this most dangerous game, there is no happy ending. The worst part of it all? We love it. We all found different ways to cope and to mourn the loss of something that we all hold so dear. You have to understand, we're all batshit fanatical, but we all pray to that altar of theater. It can be cruel, it is mean, it is unfair, and we have all shed more tears than we ever should for it. But here we are, and now that it isn't there for us, we will still find a way to torture ourselves, and we will love every single minute of it. So go ahead. Ask us what we did this weekend, because the answer may not have theater in it, but I can assure you it will be as long, as wild, and we will always get those same looks from people. Theater may be gone for now, but that damn ghost will always be here. To all of you fighting this fight, good luck. And seriously, to all of you out there who love going to the theater and supporting it, we need you now more than ever, because we are absolutely losing our fucking minds, and I cannot afford any more home renovations.